Hello everyone, George here, and as you can see we are back on F1 Clash as always, and today we are gonna be starting a new series on the channel, and it is gonna be based on, let's say, the different strategies you can use around the same track but in different series. So for today's video we are gonna be discussing how you can win around Singapore and the different strategies you are gonna be using, and basically you can find Singapore in Series 5 and in Series 8, the one I'm currently in. So I can't make at the moment Singapore in higher series as I'm only in Series 8, and you can see that I'm not even grinding the game that much. Especially that, as we talked in last video, the game needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of change. So for this one, I have to use my highest PAGR, and I'm currently using Latifi at level 4 with Russell at level 1, because basically these two drivers are my best. And this is my strongest setup with 101 arrow, 95 grip, 69 power and 68 reliability with 4.27 average pit stop time. So let's go to Series 5 and hopefully we can get a race around Singapore straight away. Okay, so we ended up not finding a race around Singapore straight away, and this took like 3 tries to get a race around Singapore. But you are gonna be seeing that around this series, first of all, you always will face an AI. And you are gonna be getting a top qualifying session as you are using a very strong PAGR setup and drivers against, let's say, weak AI drivers. So it is gonna be a wet qualifying session here. So we are gonna be getting a P1 here and P3 with Latifi, which is honestly crazy. But you can just see the difference between Series 5 and Series 8 with the same lineup. And during this video we are gonna be seeing 3 different races. First one is gonna be against an AI in Series 5, which is gonna be this one. Second race is gonna be in Series 8 around Singapore against a real player, and you can just see how the game is unfair at the moment and how the players these days are just playing the game. And third race is gonna be around Singapore as well, but with a fair matchmaking, and basically it is gonna be against an AI. So for this one, it is gonna be a wet start for the race, but it is gonna be a dry second stint. So currently we're gonna be going for 4 laps at the beginning, and then we're gonna pit with both of the drivers with service and just boost to finish on the medium compound. And the crucial part in this race, you have to keep defending against, we're facing here Max Verstappen from Series 12, so we have to keep defending against him, and you can just see how aggressive he is. AI cars just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and the thing is, I find it absolutely ridiculous how the AI cars are just able to overtake you and other AI cars easily. But when it comes to you trying to overtake any AI car or your rival, then all of a sudden it can be so difficult. So Series 12 drivers always go for that extra lap during any race, so you can't really expect, or you can't really predict the exact moment in which the AI car and Series 12 drivers especially are gonna be pitting. So you might go for the overcut, but during that lap you have to push a lot. You have to abuse the boost button, because yeah, it is absolutely crazy how OP Series 12 drivers are in this game. So we are gonna be pitting at the end of this next lap, so at the end of lap 4, and we can afford boosting the entire 4th lap here. We are nearly having a dry race, a full dry race, and we are gonna be going for a new set of medium tires with service this time. We can afford to boost this entire lap, so Russell is gonna be creating a massive amount of distance between himself and Max Verstappen in P2. And basically, in these low series, you don't have a problem, especially that most of you guys, or most of the players in this game and during this season, have Series 12 drivers by now. So we are pitting at the moment, and the thing is, even with Russell at level 1, even with Latifi at level 4, the thing is, if you boost for 3 laps around this track, 3 full laps around this track, you will run out of service, let's say, around the penultimate corner. So it's literally a couple of corners before the end of the race. So if you have a decent amount of distance between your driver and the car behind him, then basically he will be okay, he'll be fine. And one more thing that caught my eye is that even when having a breakdown, AI cars keep fighting you all the time, and sometimes they overtake you, and it's just crazy. And this is happening to me in Series 8, not in these low series. And you can just see that we've been boosting for an entire lap with Nicholas Latifi here, and basically he's not closing that gap a lot between himself and Max here. And you can just see how strong Series 12 drivers are. And this is gonna be a crucial point where Hutch needs to make a little bit of change, because if this problem continues during this whole season, we are gonna be seeing so many players leaving the game. So I personally think that as players, we are happy, or we would be happy to see our drivers make some overtaking, even if the game isn't as expected this season. But if you see your drivers making overtakes, and even if you start at the back of the grid, like the champion tier, for example, if the overtaking was good, then we won't be having a problem, because at least we would still have a chance of like picking up some positions that I do know if I am on a softer tire, then I would have, let's say, a good chance of finishing the race with at least, let's say, 20 to 30 points, which is kind of good, and taking into consideration that you are starting from the back of the grid. All right, now we move on to Series 8 with the same lineup, with the same setup, and let's just see the difference between Series 4, or Series 5, sorry, and Series 8. So this one here is gonna be against a real player, and many of you are gonna be asking, I did record the audio after recording the races. So this one is gonna be a real player, and we did qualify with both of my drivers in the back, starting P19 with Latifi, P15 with Russell. And as soon as I saw this, even if my rival did out-qualify us by a massive margin, he's just gonna be using boosts in normal duels while we've been out-qualified. And just look at this. He's using that fast, and he's using this boost from the French Grand Prix, I believe. So, first of all, terrible start from both of my drivers, but at first I decided that I wanna forfeit the race, because I cannot be asked to face such players. I'm out-qualifying you and then wasting that fast in a normal race, which is kind of ridiculous, as you wanna save these boosts for your Grand Prix events. This is that fast, bro. Like, this boost is your key to victory in a Grand Prix event, especially in a champion tier Grand Prix. So I decided to go for a split strategy, and I decided to go for 3 laps on boost with Latifi, then boost, go for the undercut, and see if he's gonna be able to pick up at least one of the cars of my rival. I did know that I'm gonna be losing this race, but we decided to fight him and to show you the different strategies on this track. So one thing, the undercut does not work around Singapore. And especially that overtaking is literally so bad. Don't even think of trying to go for the undercut, because literally it doesn't work, because you're gonna be stuck in traffic behind AI cars, and your rival is gonna have the upper hand of boosting the final 3 laps. So I was thinking here, if we can overtake, let's say, Norris with Latifi, then we can defend against him. And it is doable, but it's just impossible. And you are about to see that when we say that overtaking system needs a massive change, then we are talking about this. You can just see how we are boosting on the medium compound, and every single car in front of us is on hard tires. And basically, like, your drivers start playing the dragging game here, because it's just silly how the AI is able to overtake you easily, and then when it comes to you trying to overtake or trying to boost past some cars, it's just ridiculously impossible. And we are pitting here with service. So to be able to catch Norris in front, we have to boost this entire lap as well with Latifi, which is basically against every, let's say, every logic about strategies. And you are gonna be seeing that the undercut does not work at all, especially if you are in the back of the grid. If you are in front of your rival, then go for it, go for the undercut, as your rival is gonna be struggling behind the AI cars, as he won't be able to overtake. And this would give you the upper hand, but if you are the car in the back, don't even think about it, because basically it will ruin your race. And you can just see the distance between Norris and our Latifi. He got out way ahead of us, and unless the overtaking system is fixed, then basically the undercut is not worth it. All you have to do is go for the overcut, or just pray that you get a decent and a fair matchmaking. It is true that I'm using my strongest setup here, but you will see at the end of this race that we have been facing Norris level 1 and Charles at level 2, which is kind of ridiculous to face level 2 Leclerc, level 1 Norris, and a setup that I would only dream of getting in this game, because this guy I'm facing has unlocked so many epic cards from higher series, plus he's using the Death Fest, and to be honest, the matchmaking was impossible, plus he's using Death Fest and that other boost, which shows you that these guys have no idea what they're doing, honestly. And especially this season, it is the perfect time for you to save your boosts, because in normal duels, as long as you are in front of your rival, then basically the race is over even before it starts. And the only reason that someone who's behind you in qualifying can win the race isn't by going for the undercut or by performing a great strategy. No, it's only because of a perfect start of the race. So as I said, you only have to pray, because race starts are, or like they finish 90% of the job. If you can get a perfect start of the race and overtake your rival, and let's say sometimes you start the race from P19 and you go up to P8 or P7, and by the way, this is possible. It is possible. around every single track, and especially around here in Singapore and around Melbourne. Turn 1 is just crazy. So we're gonna give well done to my rival here. We're gonna give him the smiley face, and I'll be laughing in a moment, because it's just crazy. This is an impossible matchmaking. So now we move on to another race in Singapore, but against an AI with a fair matchmaking. All right, so this is gonna be a fair race against an AI as well, and we are gonna be having kind of the upper hand because of the qualifying here. So if you get this kind of qualifying, then there is only one solution for you. Just go for a one-stop strategy, 4 laps on medium in your first stint, and then you can boost the 4th lap. You're gonna pit with service, and then you are gonna be boosting like until the end of the race. And as you can see, Russell is in P12, Latifi is in P20, so we are safe. We are safe from stacking both of our drivers. So Russell didn't lose any position, and Latifi did lose a couple of positions, but that's completely fine, as we are looking strong because Max Verstappen is the one who's gonna be going for the undercut, because he's going for 3 laps on the soft compound, and it all depends on which tires he's gonna be using at the end of this first stint. So all you have to do is keep supporting your driver 100%. Don't let Max Verstappen overtake you, because he's gonna be creating a massive distance between your car and him, and basically he will have a free pit stop. So all you have to do is just keep defending against him, even if you are gonna be using a lot of fuel, a lot of tire management, and a lot of service, because at the end of your first stint you are gonna be servicing your car. So just pay attention and focus on the driver in front, because no matter what we do, if we can keep Max Verstappen behind us, then Latifi is gonna be close enough to overtake him while he is pitting. Come on, Russell, don't do this, bro. All right. So we are just gonna keep defending. There is no way that we are letting Max Verstappen overtake us, or basically it would be over. And the thing is, and you're gonna be seeing in a sec, I'm starting to believe that this game is alive, bro, because in a moment when we focus the camera on Latifi, and especially during his second stint, the boost stint, he would start performing some crazy overtaking. And honestly, we all know that Latifi basically cannot overtake. But I think he knows that I was watching him, that I was recording him, and he knew that you guys would be watching him. So I've never seen him performing such overtakings. Basically, Latifi is just Latifi. It doesn't matter if he's in P6 or if he's in P20. Latifi will always finish where he starts, and most of the time he's gonna be losing positions. So as you can see here, Verstappen is pitting, and we have the chance to overtake him. All right, actually the AI did pit with both of the drivers. So now we have the chance to boost the 4th entire lap here. Latifi is in front, of course, and only because we were able to keep Max Verstappen behind Russell. And this is what I was talking about. You can just see Latifi here performing overtakes so much better than George Russell. And when I saw the overtake on the Aston Martin car, I was like, am I sure that I'm using Latifi here? But yeah, this race was crazy, and we are just pitting at the moment. I don't think we are gonna be stacking that much. All right, so we are gonna be stacking a lot. All right, so we did lose, I believe, around 2 to 3 seconds, but the crucial thing again is that Russell is in front of Max Verstappen. And this is where Latifi started to perform at his best. Honestly, I don't even think that I've seen him making overtakes in this game, to be honest. He's always having a good start of the race, but then dropping down the order as well. And you just have to keep boosting for this entire stint, and basically you are safe. And this is gonna be a 100% win for you. Sometimes the game gives you an impossible matchmaking, and just don't be angry about that, because it's just let's call it bad RNG. So if you are on a winning streak, all the game does is give you a very bad matchmaking so that you lose at least one race, and sometimes it gives you 2, maybe 3 impossible matchmaking in a row, by the way. And basically you cannot win every race. Every game is built so that you can win and you can lose, but the game lets you win more than you lose. No one wins, let's say, 500 races in a row, right? You can win 500 races in a row, but you can just go down to Series 1 and you can win literally every single game, and you can finish your season with a 100% win rate. But this is not how the game works. You have to lose, let's say, in order for you to win. And we are starting our final lap here. As I said, just look at Latifi, bro. He's already up into P16. He's pulling some great overtakings, and everything was perfect for us to win this race. If the game didn't want me to win, then I wouldn't have won the race. That's simple, because it would have given you a crash, or it would have given you a spin, or whatever, a bad start of the race. But yeah, it's just, let's say, a percentage that you are not allowed to exceed during the season, or during, let's say, a winning streak. So, and that's a win. And basically this is how you win, or this is how the strategy works around Singapore. If you're starting in the back of the grid, never go for the undercut. Always go for a one-stop strategy and know when to boost and when to service your car. So that is gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you are liking this series. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and take care. Bye.